Welcome back everyone to the Miguel Cigar YouTube page. Today what we're gonna do, we're gonna go over a package that came in the mail. Update you guys on what's going on with our RedBubble page. Also update you guys on the samples that we were smoking through recently. Also stay to the end of the video so you guys can figure out how to get a discount on all of our merch that's up for sale right now. Coming up. Before we get started with the show, I wanted to give a shout out to Michael Newman. He ended up sending me this gift box. I think there's a good 4 or 5 different blends in there. You'll notice it's a little empty. I kind of smoked one before we recorded the show today. But yeah, it's a great present, man. Thank you. Now on to RedBubble. For those of you who don't follow us on Instagram or Facebook, we ended up starting the page maybe 2 weeks ago. For those of you who aren't young or hip like me, RedBubble is essentially a print-on-demand service. You upload designs, and when someone purchases it, manufacture it and ship it directly to your customer without you having to deal with inventory or anything else like that. The reason why we chose RedBubble is we didn't want to really focus on whether or not we have inventory. Instead of focusing on funding all these other things, we figured just upload designs. It wouldn't cost us anything except a little bit of time and effort. It's worry-free, it's stress-free. It allows for Michael and myself to focus more on the business, on what's more important. So now that we're warmed up, let's get you guys an update. It feels like it's been a long time since our last video, aka our first video. We finally dwindled all those samples that you saw in those videos down. I think there was like a crazy, like 20 something different blends or different variations. We finally dwindled all that down to just 4 samples. The Evelyn, first sample, Evelyn. The body had a very light citrus bite to it. A little bit of leather, a little bit of funk on the foot, a little bit of black pepper on the lips from the cold draw. Immediately in the first third, you get spices, blue cheese, a zestiness. Oak came into play. In the second third, the funk started to mellow out as a flowery, citrusy note started to kick in. A little bit of lavender and oak on the finish. In the final third, not much different from the second, just mellow out surprisingly slowly while transitioning between the funky oak notes from earlier and the flowery notes with a little bit of citrus, kind of a little back and forth play there. Just tons of creamy smoke. It does have a Connecticut shade wrapper on it, and binder and filler are all from Nicaragua. The Evelyn rated 90 for me. The Blue Harvest Moon. This is a blend that he came up with prior to our partnership. Before lighting it, the body just smelled of this funky cheese. The cold draw, all I got was spice and bread. But once lit right away, there was tons of cedar, tons of funky cheese with a slight flowery black pepper finish on the retrohale. The bread kind of turns more like a gingerbread notes. The bread and cedar eventually kind of take over the first third. There's tons of gingerbread, cedar, black pepper, flowery note on the retrohale, a little bit of spicy toasted bread notes with nutmeg, creamy, spicy, but all in all, great stick. I believe I rated this one a 91. In fact, I have on my notes that it's practically one of my new favorites, with a Nicaraguan wrapper, binder, some filler from Jalapa and Esteli, and a few other bits. The HE San Andreas. Picking up the cigar, I got nothing but blue cheese. Immediately once lit, I got tons of oak and bread notes, a little bit of the blue cheese that I got earlier, but very slight, and a flowery lemony undertone. Into the second third, the lemon and pepper notes kind of just take over. Toasted bread and flowery, with a flowery linger. It's still there, but not super present, kind of coming back and forth. The last half starts with tons of brown sugar, toasted bread notes with a pepper, sweet linger. It develops more into like a sweet bready, light pepper combo as it continues with that little flowery linger from earlier. The final little bits of the cigar. Well, I would say a good majority of the final third, there was more and more of those bread notes. It kind of transformed more into graham crackery notes with a honey linger on the palate. But all in all, I actually couldn't decide what to rate the cigar at. I think I got stuck somewhere between 91 and 92. And finally, but not least, the Nicaraguan M98. The next sample is the Nicaraguan M98. The M98 utilizes tobaccos from Dominican Republic and Esteli in Nicaragua. Immediately, you get tons of cooking spices, lime, pepper, cedar. Eventually, towards the end of the first third, cedar becomes more of an oak note with a little bit of light bread. Tons of cooking spices, lime, but it's settled into key lime pie-like note. That kind of just lingered. Eventually, vegetation peaks in. Cinnamon fades a little as the peppery vegetation and bready notes kind of start peaking a little bit more. After that, the cinnamon and nutmeg started coming through with a sweet toasted bread note at the end. Kind of like a ginger cookie flavor, but just light. Altogether, it was a tasty smoke. I rated it 90 using the Bravada Cigar Club rating chart. So with that being said, I'm pretty sure the Evelyn blend is going to be pushed back slightly this year. Not that we don't want to release it, we just found something that we thought worked way better. But that just means that you guys would have a different blend available to you sooner than expected, which isn't a complete loss. The Evelyn will still be released in 2020. We just don't know yet. It's being pushed back. We've also been working hard getting prices and designs ready for boxes, bands, also promotional items as mentioned with the RedBubble. These cats are going crazy back here. But yeah, promotional items with RedBubble. With that being said, actually Evelyn's band is finished being designed. I'll kind of put a photo somewhere up here. That was all the juicy bits. Now for that discount that I promised all of you guys at the beginning of the video. All you guys gotta do is head over to our RedBubble page. We'll link it down in the description below. Cats! And anything that you guys purchase in the next 30 days will automatically be discounted. We literally posted all these items as cheap as we can for the next 30 days while still making somewhat profit and not going negative. While on our RedBubble page, stock up on everything. Every purchase made helps us pay for our day-to-day activities. Everything that we sell in the next 30 days while we do this discount will actually be specifically towards helping us get our bands and warning labels on all our boxes. So remember guys, in the next few months when you see us finally start releasing our cigars and you start putting them in your humidors, you could look at them and be like, hey, that band, I helped pay for that band. It all makes it a little bit better and it makes the experience a little bit more cooler for you guys, knowing that you guys had a helping hand. It's almost like you guys are part of the company that way. But with that being said, that's pretty much all the info. You guys are all up to date on what's new with us. Keep an eye out for new videos. Don't forget to check out our Instagram, support and follow on Facebook as well. Obviously our YouTube page. Subscribe, share us to all your friends. Click that like button. Yell at your neighbor to like our page. Help us get exposure. But seriously guys, at the end of the day, appreciate everything you guys do for us, whether it's here, Facebook or YouTube. Have a great night. Can't wait till you guys enjoy our cigars.